Life can really throw some curveballs between work, family, just everything. It's easy to feel completely overwhelmed sometimes. If that sounds familiar at all, I promise you, you are not alone. But the big question is, how do you know when that feeling is more than just a bad week? When is it a sign you might need some real support?
So where do we start? Well, it all begins with recognizing the signs. And I want you to think of these not as weaknesses or failures, but just as signals. It's your mind and your body's way of saying, hey, this load is getting too heavy, and maybe it's time to try something new.
And here's the key thing, right? The word we have to focus on is persistence. Look, we all have off days, we all have moments of anxiety. But when those feelings just stick around, when they don't go away, that's when they can start a domino effect, messing with your job, your relationships, even your physical health. And that's the real difference.
A lot of the time, the first signals are all about our mood. This could be a constant feeling of depression that just kind of hangs over everything, or anxiety that won't quit. Maybe it's this deep sense of hopelessness, or finding it almost impossible to work through grief. Things like bipolar disorder, with its really intense highs and lows, that fits in here too. These are often the first clues that our internal compass is a little off.
Now, sometimes the signs can feel, well, a lot more intense, and honestly, pretty scary. We're talking about things like sudden panic attacks that come out of nowhere, or crippling fears and phobias, or maybe it's intrusive thoughts that come with OCD. It is so important to hear this. These are recognized medical conditions. They are not character flaws, and there is real, specialized help out there to manage them.
And it's not just about what we're feeling on the inside. A lot of the time, our mental state totally shows up in what we do. This can look like all sorts of things. Trouble focusing, like you see with ADHD, that's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or maybe it's chronic sleep issues. Or it could be really struggling to heal from past trauma, which we know is PTSD. These behavioral signs are just as critical to pay attention to.
So, let's say you've recognized some of these signs in yourself or someone you care about. What's next? Where do you even begin? Well, you find an expert guide. And for this journey, that guide is the psychiatrist.
Okay, so this is super important to get straight. An adult psychiatrist isn't just a therapist, they're a medical doctor, an MD. They've gone through all of medical school and then years of specialized training on top of that. This means they get the whole picture, that incredibly complex link between your brain, your body, and everything you've been through in your life.
All right, I get it. The idea of all this can seem pretty intimidating, like you're just stepping into the dark. But here's the good news. Psychiatric care isn't some big mystery. It actually follows a very clear, structured process. Let's walk through that 4-step path right now.
It's super methodical, actually. It all starts with evaluation. That's where you just get to tell your story. That leads to a diagnosis, where the doctor uses a standardized guide, it's called the DSM-5, to put a name to what's going on. From there, you work together to create a personalized treatment plan. And then, and this is so crucial, there's follow-up to make sure the plan is actually working and to tweak it if it's not.
So what does treatment even mean? It's not just one thing. Seriously, think of it like having this amazing, personalized toolbox, filled with different tools designed for different jobs. It is absolutely not one size fits all.
Now, one of the most well-known tools in that box is medication, and it's really specific. You have different types tailored for different conditions, like antidepressants for depression or stimulants for ADHD. The goal is never to change who you are. It's just about helping to rebalance some of the brain's chemistry, which can make all the other work you're doing so much more effective.
But, and this is a big but, it is so not just about medication. Not even close. The best, most effective care is holistic. It's about looking at you as a whole person, not just a collection of symptoms. This is where all these other incredible tools come into play. You've got psychotherapy, talk therapy. That includes amazing techniques like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps you literally retrain your thought patterns. But it could also mean making lifestyle changes, getting social support, or even life coaching. It's all about finding the mix that works for you.
And get this, the toolbox even has some pretty futuristic stuff in it. Take TMS, for example. It's a totally non-invasive option that uses magnetic fields to gently wake up nerve cells in the brain. It's a real game changer for people with depression that hasn't responded to other treatments. And it's a perfect example of how this field is always moving forward.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but I'm sure you still have some questions buzzing around your head, right? Of course you do. So let's just do a quick lightning round and tackle some of the biggest ones people have.
All right, first up, and this is probably the one that stops so many people in their tracks. Is this all confidential?
The answer is 1000% yes. Absolutely. Your appointments, your conversations, your records, everything is protected by very strict privacy laws. Trust is literally the foundation of the entire process, period.
Okay, next question. So you did it. You made the call. Now what? What's that first appointment actually going to be like? Is it going to be scary?
Forget any idea of some scary exam or interrogation. Honestly, it's really just a conversation. It's your chance to share what's been going on, and it's the doctor's chance to listen and understand. From there, you start working together to build that personalized plan. And here's another really important one. For a lot of people, the idea of medication is a big concern. So what if you're just not comfortable with it? It's simple. Your voice matters most. You are in the driver's seat of your own care. If medication is a no for you, that is totally respected. The focus just shifts to all those other amazing tools in the toolbox, from talk therapy to lifestyle changes. You decide.
And that really brings us to the most important point of all. I want you to really let this sink in. Getting help is not an admission of defeat. It's not the end of the line. It is the very first, most powerful step towards making progress and taking back control. It's the beginning.
So really, the only question that's left is for you. What would your life look like if you had the right support and the right tools to move forward? That path to feeling better is always there, and it all starts with just one single step.